Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Pick up your logo merchandise by heading over to abvnetwork.com, clicking on Shop, and start filling your basket today. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for something for yourself, a customized gift, or logoed items for your business gift shop, the Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. That's the number 2 in the Bar to Go. Don't forget our friends at Neely Family Distillery now ship their unique distilled spirits directly to you. To order yours, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we mail it in for Labor Day. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Swaya, Susie Cousins, and Lenny Eckstein.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, everybody.
What's happening? Happy Labor Day.
Yeah, hopefully everyone's had an enjoyable and fun Labor Day weekend so far. This is the big culmination of that. I know summer still goes on for several more weeks, actually, but it feels like the end of summer. In my mind, this shuts it down. Summer's over, and we move to fall.
I've already put out my fall decor, September 1st. It's fall now, right? Summer's over.
Did you put away your white pants? Put your white pants away.
Put your white pants away.
You're done with those. You're done with those and the white shoes. You're done.
Yeah. Yeah. So McNew, take us through this. Literally, when you say fall decorations, is there like Halloween stuff up, or is it just like fall harvest?
Okay, fall harvest, just leaves and pumpkins. Nothing spooky yet, because my husband's birthday is the 21st of September, and he said I can't do Halloween till after his birthday. Oh. But I would do it sooner. You won't
really?
Troubles of marriage, compromise.
Yeah. It's very much a compromise. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy never can win, by the way. She bought patio furniture. He put it together. She got mad at him. So
I just do leaves and pumpkins and scarecrows through September, and then September 30th, October 1st, all spooky, all Halloween.
October 1st is okay, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when it gets spooky. Yeah.
Do you give away?
Do you carve the pumpkin and then just spin it around on the 1st, or?
No, I have like 5 totes of Halloween decorations, and I bought more. It's a problem. I have more Halloween than I have Christmas right now, so it's a thing here. We get real spooky. Every room has its own theme, right? Like, so I don't live in a small house, but I live like in an average house. But every room of this house has its own theme for Halloween.
Do you start planning your? Because I know you have to have a Halloween costume. What do you know what you're going to be this year?
Yes, I do. So our neighbors have
Snooki?
A party.
Snooki, I hope.
No, our neighbors always have a party, and Chris likes to go as like a couples theme. Like, I really don't care what we go as, but
he can be the situation, and you could be Snooki.
No. So I like.
Imagine Chris showed off his abs. He's like pulling his shirt off.
He had them, but he doesn't. But
that'd be why it was so genius. People would love this. Yeah.
No. So we do have a plan this year where So I don't know if you've seen on Amazon or TikTok where there's like the rich widow robes, where like they're these flowing robes, right? Like these rich widow robes where you're like, this is what I wear when my rich husband dies. So I'm getting one of those, and he's going to be a dead husband with like a knife wound. So we have a plan.
So weird. So weird.
Not poison. I put you as a poison girl.
Yeah.
Silent but deadly.
That takes too long. I have zero patience.
Okay. That's weird.
Gotta stab him.
Did you see TikTok ban those videos where people have been walking on the milk crates, the milk crate challenge?
Yeah, that's a weird thing though. Like, why were they doing that anyway? Like,
I don't, because they're idiots.
It's literally stupid.
It's literally thinning the herd. I think it's fine. Keep the videos up. Keep them going. Just let them keep dropping like flies.
Where do you find those? I haven't seen those since I was 10. Where do you find fucking milk crates? Where do
At
you
the
get
grocery store, they still ship in crates. That's the best way to ship milk. Yeah.
Like traffic cones.
You just go ask your grocery store for them?
The dairy department, yes, they've got them still. Yeah,
Seems weird.
and piled up in the back. Yeah, I mean, I worked in a grocery store.
Why do people care that other people are falling from 8 feet?
Well,
I don't care.
like everything, it's
I think
COVID because they say now we've had so many people come in, and of
No.
course we're stressed already. We're stressed already. We got all these COVID patients. Now we got these idiots falling down and hurting themselves, taking up the emergency room.
That is fair for the ER staff. Nobody else should care.
Yeah, well, that's why they're putting out this morning, and why TikTok is now. If you put up one of those, apparently they take it down. So, yeah, the milk crate challenge.
Those trends do get out of hand.
It's stupid. Everyone I've seen, the people take these incredible. I mean, the one guy just falls down, lands on his head, and all he had like floor mats from a truck.
Like, okay, so those aren't.
And he missed all the floor mats, by the way. He just hit the ground straight. So,
Can we do this?
I remember those when I was.
yeah, we'll do it in Key West. Of course, we're going to do it.
It's almost as good as the TikTok videos of people trying to walk out of a moving car. Do you remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they like the key, do you love me? Like the car was still moving when they did that. Yeah, that's the thing.
McNew, officially, you said there's something you wanted to talk about. What was that?
Okay, yeah. So this probably doesn't apply to Steve or Lenny because you both have your dream jobs, right? Like you're living your best life.
Yeah,
but
we're living our dreams.
Your day job wasn't your dream job. What would it be?
Tim or Susie? What would it be?
Ladies first.
Wait, no, say that again. If your day job, what?
Okay,
if your day job isn't already your dream job, what would your dream job
Oh.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, you know what? I've always wanted to bake, like make cakes and.
Are you good at baking?
Pretty good, yeah. Pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. I like to.
Like, what would be a specialty if we'd come over? This group's coming over. We're like, Susie, bake us your signature item. What do you?
Yeah, I make
making
a
for us?
really, really good bourbon soaked pound cake.
Bourbon soaked. Oh, that sounds pretty good. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Count me in. I'll go for that. Okay.
Brown the butter and everything. It's really good.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I think I would be a baker, but I just don't want to have to get up at 3 a.m. to do it. So it'd have to be a bakery.
That's why you have staff.
Yeah.
That's
You
why
develop
hire
the recipes
staff.
and stuff, and then you got staff, Susie.
Okay, perfect.
You're the talent, so then you teach others. Okay. All right. So Tim, you got to weigh in on this. What do you?
So I have had a couple side hustles. So I was I say now I was, and it hurts to actually say I was a high school basketball and volleyball referee, and I've got at the age of 44, I'm a double hip replacement. I've already ruptured an Achilles. And I'm waiting for my left Achilles to pop as like getting out of bed or out of a chair or something like that because of all the wear and tear.
How painful is that Achilles when it pops? That's bad. Right?
I actually popped my right Achilles on the court during a game. Basketball. Okay. So I'll never forget it. I think I have a glimpse of what childbirth feels like, but I think I've never felt that. I mean, I've hit myself with. I've done a lot of stupid shit. You know, you hit yourself with a hammer. You hit yourself with nails and
stubbing your toe. McNew brought that one up the other day. That's one of the worst pains.
I would rather cut my whole leg than stub a toe. That's rough.
Yeah, stubbing a toe is bad.
The Achilles. So I'll never forget it. There was I'm running down with a fast break. I'm cutting underneath the basket, and the stands are behind me. And there's a hard foul, so I blow the whistle. And the ball's going hot into the stand. So I kind of hop up and I grab the ball so it doesn't hit the people behind me. And I try to walk out of that and snap. And then I went right down on my knee. And the coach, who I knew, who was on the bench, says, "Tim, was that you?" And the players around me, after it was a hard foul, enough that kids are kind of, you never know what you're going to control when there's a hard foul like that. People stepping over kids to try to, you never know what you're dealing with in that situation as an official. And the kids stopped as well and said, these are high school varsity players. These kids are playing ball, and they stop and they say, "Sir, was that you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Let me try to stand up." And I tried to stand up, and all I felt was just this burn and this. It was awful. I was
Did
able
they-
to knock myself
so
off the court.
The people
Call
that are
my
asking, was that
spouse.
you? They heard the thing snap?
They heard the snap. All the
Oh.
stands go, ooh, what was that? And then, so 9 months later was my first game back. And I ended up reffing one of the teams that was playing that game. And they're like, we are so happy to see you back. You were all over Facebook and this, that, and the other in our little team stuff because we keep stats and things like that. We were always wishing that you come back. And thank you so much for coming back. And so 9 months I got back on the court. That was good mentally. But after that, that's not what keeps me off the court. What keeps me off the court, though, I hate to say it, unfortunately, are the parents. The parents and the coaches. The verbal abuse is real. The cost for it. I'm making $50 to $100 a game. It's still pretty good for an hour's worth of work, hour and 10 minutes. But to run the risk of getting escorted out to the car because some parent doesn't like your traveling call or doesn't understand 3 seconds in the lane or
Right.
whatever the rules may be, that's what pushed me out finally. And then, so if you ask me what I'm doing, my dream job, man, I love coaching basketball. I love reffing basketball, volleyball, all that. I gave that all up, and I'm doing what I'm doing right now is outside of is doing whiskey tastings and educating and doing something like this. This really scratches that itch, and the education that I've gotten and just talking and educating folks on spirits and reading the label and understanding what that means.
Okay. McNew, you asked the question, what would be your dream job?
Yeah, so I kind of want to be like a female Stephen King. Like, I want to write some weird shit and have people love it.
Well, why don't you take the first step of writing the book and then we go from there.
I'm working on it.
I can help you publish it.
Steve, you're a writer. Like, it's a process, right? Like,
It's a process, yeah.
It's a
McNew
process.
time.
I'm working on it though. So like, I just want to write.
I got a new book coming out.
Have-
I'm so excited. I
people
don't have the
love it.
cover yet. I need the cover, and that's the last thing I need to get this thing
Yeah,
rolling.
like, so it's a process, and like, you kind of have to be in the mood for it, right? Like, you wrote when you had a corporate job and it sucks your soul out, so you're like, I'm really just gonna go to bed today. Like, you gotta have the energy and the right vibe to do it. So
Yeah, but if you're motivated, it feels like it should give you that energy. It should feed that.
it does. It does. Like, and it's the thing that I'm working on. So that's what
I
I'm
don't
gonna
get to write as much as as I'd like to. And again, I didn't have a book come out the last year or so, and I've missed it. I like writing and I like publishing books, and man, it's just such a cool gift that keeps on giving when you have a good one, and it's just people still discover it. Like, I've got that book that the Bourbon mixology book that's been out over 5 years that still sells a bunch every month. It amazes me that's just when you get a good one, you get something good, it just keeps going. Yeah, there you go. There's some.
I got them all.
Yeah.
See if they're great.
So like, I know people, you've been successful. People can be successful doing it. Like, that's kind of what I want to do. Like, I want to own my own day, own my own schedule. Like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's why I'm so excited about this. I think I got a hit coming up in this next book. We'll see.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
So like my real job is in financial services, and in 2008, when everything was really hitting the fan, when we thought the whole world was imploding and everything like that,
Right.
I started journaling and just started writing every single day, and such a stress relief. It was unbelievable. And I can't wait to go back to that and kind of read what I was thinking at that time. And see what you can piece all together. It's just random thoughts. It's such a stress relief if you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, guess what, gang? It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start this time with Tim. Tim, what do you got, man?
I have a well-loved bottle of Minor Case rye whiskey, which in the tasting world, in the blind tasting stuff, this is the sleeper that tends to win blind tasting every single time, and it makes the best damn Manhattan you could find.
Okay.
Nothing.
Not much going on there. I've got St. Cloud here. I actually won this in my bowling league. I got first place, and this was the trophy. Actually, I'm kidding, but it looks like a bowling trophy to me. The little guy on the top, Mercury, or whatever it is. Yeah, the medallion on the bottle just reminds me of a bowling trophy. Here we go. Horrible. Tim still got the lead. That was so bad. Tim has the lead. So McNew, you're next.
I actually have a brand new bottle of Larceny. Let's see what this does.
Here we go.
Ooh, perfect.
There it is.
No.
That's perfect. That's going to be tough to beat. This is what you're facing. Susie, you're next. What do you got?
I have a well-loved bottle of Nashville Barrel Company Bourbon Thieves Guild pick.
Okay. Okay. All right. Decent. Not as good as McNew's. Not as good as McNew's. Lenny, you're next. What do you got?
I mean, in an effort to win, I grabbed my most filled bottle, which is an overfilled bottle of Deer Hammer Rye. It's a strategery.
Oh, that was good. It was cute. Not as good as McNew's. You had the kind of McNew just had a little bit more pop to it, a little bit, but yours was like super high pitched for some reason. So,
Yeah.
Who had some more hair on her chest on that pop?
yeah, yours sounded like a mini. It sounded like a mini. So cheers, gang.
Cheers.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, it's Labor Day. We're going to talk about whatever we want. We got to work on a holiday. It's the least we can do. Allow us to talk about what we want. So we'll get to that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and let's talk for a moment about our sponsors, the people that make this show happen. First up is our friends at Moonshine University. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at their office in Louisville. The information I learned through lead instructor Colin Blake and their team there is something that I continue to draw upon frequently in my role at the ABV Network. It truly is the standard of establishing a benchmark of knowledge of the bourbon industry. From history to production to brands and people, it's all there. Check out their full listing of programs, including Executive Bourbon Steward Certification, production classes if you're considering starting a distillery, and much more at moonshineuniversity.com. I also want to talk about Neely Family Distillery. Back in May of 2018, I met Royce Neely at Limestone Branch's Craft Bourbon Festival. It ended up not only being the start of a great friendship, I started to truly learn about what makes craft whiskey so amazing. You see, I had been a bourbon drinker for over 30 years at that point, and like many people who had been drinking bourbon a long time, I was hard-coded into thinking big bourbon was where it was at and craft was on a journey to get there. Spending time with Royce and learning the things he does to make his whiskey taste better started to really get me to appreciate how things like sweet mashing, open top fermentation, pot distillation, and the grains you are using not only makes your product taste better coming off the still, but also out of the barrel as well. I still love heritage brands and they make up a bulk of my collection. But when you find a craft distiller that is truly dedicated to the craft of distilling, you are drinking some of the best whiskey out there on the market today. That's exactly what's happening at Neely Family Distillery today. Check them out on the web at neelyfamilydistillery.com, or better yet, stop by and see them at their distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. And now, back to the show.
This is Kathy Cool, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today, we are mailing it in for Labor Day.
Yes, we are. I'll tell you what. I'll kick this thing off because we can talk about whatever we want. And what I do when I'm bored, I don't turn on the TV anymore. I get the computer on and I just get on YouTube. And there's so much content out there. And if you want to watch TV shows, most of them are out there, by the way. You can watch them on YouTube, even if it's a cable channel maybe that you don't have. There's a lot of that stuff's out there. It's crazy how much is on YouTube. But I just like coming up with random stuff or seeing what the algorithms are telling me I should watch. And it comes up with some crazy stuff. I'll tell you what I was watching the other day. There was a guy, Tim, and you'll appreciate this because Don Zimmer was kind of a legend in Chicago. But the time when he was with the Yankees and he got into the fight with Pedro, and there was a guy who broke that down, and it was just so funny. I mean, he had the whole thing down, and even, Don got, he was kind of messed up there. Everybody quit fighting literally because Don, the 72-year-old guy at the time, gets thrown to the turf, and Pedro's kind of getting out of the way. And then they finally get around to him, and Clemens is asking like, who did this to you? What happened? Who did this to you? And he's like, you just see him. And of course the guy does it in slow motion. You can't hear Don say anything because it's video, but he's like, Pedro. The guy mouths the words for it. It's so great. But I just love that kind of, I end up watching these guys that just break down videos. It's funny. I don't know why. It's funny stuff.
I remember that game of seeing the highlights of it.
Yeah.
I mean, when Pedro put his hands to his face and pushed him down like that, you're right. Everybody stopped on that video and they all looked around and said, wait a minute now, that's
right.
Too far.
I tell you what, But Pedro was in a tough spot, though. I don't know what
Yes,
you
he
do.
was.
I don't know if you just maybe the move is just a bear hug, but you do watch the breakdown, and of course Don Zimmer's running at him. Pedro's on the
Charging at
mound.
him.
Pedro's on the mound, and he was throwing a punch. So there's a punch coming in as he stops it. Zimmer is running in. He's 72 years old. He's throwing a punch. So you can't win with that situation. You don't want the old guy just to punch you because you can't fight back. So he grabbed him by the head and kind of just cast him to the side. But the guy shows how much he really did fling him down. He threw him down hard. It wasn't like he was like, old guy, I'll just want to get him out of the way. He tossed him down pretty hard, but I do think he was in a tough spot. And of course, it's happening like this. It's not like you get to sit there for an hour and think about, here's what I should do. Guys running at you throw him down and got out of the way.
Should toss a punch.
Yeah.
He deflected and let him go. And that's what it was. I think you're right. What I love too about Pedro's legacy, though, and I don't want to get into baseball talk too much here, but Pedro's not remembered for that, which is even better.
Mm-hmm.
Folks just kind of let it roll and understand that's Boston, New York Yankees, and that is what it is.
Yeah,
it's a rivalry.
It's a rivalry. Yeah, like our rivalry, Cardinals and the Cubs. It's the Cardinals are the right answer there.
You still have your Daryl Kyle jersey hanging up in your kitchen?
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
you know that my husband is a Cubs fan, and I have this damn Cubs bear in front of my house, and I allowed him to have it because the only thing he wanted to put out in our garden.
I know.
Is it like an actual baseball memorabilia kind of thing, or is it just a bear?
It is a bear, but it has a Cubs sign and it has the Cubs thing like on it. Yeah, it's definitely a Cubbies bear. He's a big Cubs fan, and I'm like, okay, I guess you can put it out there. I'll allow you to have your one thing.
Is it like the Cubs bear that's like chainsaw art bear, where they're just kind of
yeah, that's it. And it's painted blue. It's obnoxious. It doesn't match the house or the aesthetic. I hate it so much, but I'll let him have it.
Is it
a Heidi deterrent? Because Heidi doesn't like bears.
It's true.
No,
Heidi's terrified of bears.
I feel like Heidi would still come to my house, but
I don't know. She's pretty terrified. Yeah, that's changed her life, by the way. She won't go outside by herself. When she gets home, she works retail. So sometimes she'll get home 10, 11 at night. Jim has to meet her out there and walk her into the house because she's too afraid a bear may attack her in her front yard.
I mean, that seems fair. If I had a snake,
it doesn't seem fair. That's insane.
If I had a snake infestation, I would make Chris walk me to the house. That seems fair.
Number one, if there was a bear living around their neighborhood, then yes, okay, maybe. There's no bears around there. There's some spotted in St. Louis.
Well, McNew, I mean, come on. You pay somebody $20 a week to clean up your dog shit in your yard. You think you can take care of your snake infestation?
Yeah.
That's not what I pay them to do. They might ignore it. I don't know.
Why? It's $20. Why not get that twice a week?
That's not my problem. I saw a snake today. I'm just here to pick up the dog piles. They might ignore it. I don't know. I don't trust them yet.
I mean,
I don't understand these guys. They take $20 is a good deal because they take the shit with them too. What I don't know what they do with that. I would have thought they throw it in your trash can. That's on the way out. Hey, where's your trash can? They're going to throw it. No, they take the shit with them.
I don't know what.
I know what they do with it. I know
what do they do with it.
You know that there's actually a company that you can pay to send a pound of shit to someone else anonymously.
That actually is a thing.
Yeah.
I should have gotten one.
And here's the worst part. When you receive this package, well, first of all, there's choices. You can get I think it's 3 different animals.
Oh, she's got a mastiff, so that's got to be popular.
And then, so the person that receives it is told, if you are willing to dig through the shit, there's a card in it that'll tell you who sent it to you. But when you dig through the shit, it's like, do you really think we were going to tell you? Is what it says on the card.
Really?
So
don't dig through the shit.
Diabolical. But I bet that's what they do with your.
Okay, so I get ads for that because I was a fan of Send a Bag of Dicks.
Yes.
They're gummy dicks, and I send them to my best friend for her birthday or anything she gets promoted for every year. I just send her a bag of dicks. They're gummy dicks. But now I get ads for the Send a Bag of Poop, but I'm like, I'm not actually trying to send shit. I'm just trying to send her gummy dicks. I get so many ads on my email now.
A big difference. Gummy dicks are you can actually.
It's funny. She'll eat them. She will actually eat them, and she thinks it's funny. She would be pissed if I send her actual dog poop.
Yep.
No man sends dicks, by the way.
Yeah, no one's sending dicks.
I
And by the
sent
way,
a lot of dicks.
speaking of this kind of stuff, the legend had that post, and I'm disturbed by this. In the Crew Club page, talking about he and his dad one time were out when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
They saw they had a 10-pound box of turkey balls, and they bought them and took them home and fried them up and ate them. Who's doing this? Why?
Who does that?
Oh,
Right.
all this reminds me of, it's like, it's way older than me, but like I remember watching it with my parents. It was like the Funny Farm with
Chevy Chase
Yeah.
Classic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he
Send
had
out the
them
deer.
at that restaurant. Yeah, that's all I remember about.
Yeah.
Like, why
They're
would
doing
you
it
do
as a
that?
joke on him. He doesn't know what he's eating. Rick literally knows what they are, buys them. The
He's
10
here
pounds
for it.
too.
He's
10
here
pounds.
for it.
10 pounds, you can't eat that much.
He fried it up and ate it. That was a meal for him.
Fried it dehydrates a bit. I don't know.
I guess. I don't
10
know.
pounds is a lot of mass.
That's a lot of balls. And turkey balls. They can't be that big, can they? How many turkeys have to die for 10 pounds of turkey balls?
Also,
Maybe you just neutered them. Maybe they don't have
1,000 turkeys, I would guess.
I mean, how many balls is he fitting in his mouth? The legend does legend things.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
I
It
know.
feels like a game of Chubby Bunny or whatever.
Oh my, Susie, you took it to a whole other level. I took it there and you slammed it home. I love it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Oh boy.
the bourbon and water went through my nose. That was not great for me.
I don't understand. And he's like, well, as a teenager, I wouldn't do that now, but as a teenager, well, are you kidding me? Why?
No,
Why?
I would be like, you're a weirdo. Don't buy those. What are
Yeah.
you doing? Like, that's what a teenager should say.
Right. Yeah.
So Lenny, the question is do you send your poem to Wes with a bag of dicks or a bag of shit? This is
Or
really now got
Or
intrigued.
turkey balls. Yeah.
Or turkey balls.
and don't send bags of dicks to other men.
No, but I have questions about these turkey balls. Like, do you season them like hot wings? Like, are they going to be like hot wings? Like,
Oh,
are they seasoned? Are they just like them? Like,
No, you pepper them up, you barbecue sauce them up,
Ah,
throw a little honey mustard on there, maybe some ranch for us Midwestern folks, and you pop them and you let them go.
then you let them go. Lenny claims that the Rocky Mountain oysters are a joke. No one actually eats those. Is that true? Do you really feel that's
is that
true,
a
Lenny?
tourist trap?
Or is it a tourist thing where tourists come in and be like, this is popular local fare, so I'm going to get some Rocky Mountain oysters.
It's both. Like no one, I don't want to say no one eats them, but they do have them on menus. No one really orders them. I know, like as you get more into the rural areas, especially once you get out of Colorado into like Wyoming, they'll kind of have festivals.
Wyoming, of course.
Yeah,
He
well,
says it's not a Colorado thing.
Right.
We
It's
must
not Colorado. It's Wyoming. It's Wyoming.
well,
There.
there's parts of Colorado, but
Do you feel
really,
like Nate Weingart would eat Rocky Mountain oysters? Because I feel he would.
I've never seen someone be like, "Oh, yeah, they're great, they're good." No one says that. It's just like a novelty. I mean,
So-
it's yeah.
Big nope.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. It's like those eggs, the pickled eggs at the bar. Like no one's like, "Oh, please, let me have another pickled egg."
Okay,
Been
but
there for
like,
how many years?
but isn't
Let me
it
have
a
another, please.
joke that the locals play on tourists? It's like they're new; they don't even know. Like,
I mean, when I was younger, I was probably in my early 20s, and my mom came out to visit me in Colorado for the first time, and we're in Estes Park, which is the closest town to Rocky Mountain National Park, which my mom is constantly mispronouncing as Estes Park, which is already
Almost
one-
like testes. Yeah.
Like
exactly. We're in a
True.
bar.
this is
that
going
has
downhill
Rocky
fast.
Mountain oysters on the menu, and I grew up kind of on the East Coast, spending a lot of time at the beach, eating a lot of seafood. My parents eat a lot of seafood. My mom goes, Rocky Mountain oysters. What are that? What's that? I want that. And I was like, Mom, shut the fuck up.
they're not really oysters,
And
Mom.
she's
No.
so loud with this thick New York accent, and the bartender's like, "Ma'am, those are testicles." And she, of course, she did not order them, but yeah, it's just nobody does. It's a joke.
Estes Park. There's a Chicago hot dog stand in Estes Park. So I flew out there. I had to go for work. I had to fly in. Well, I had to go to Sheridan, Wyoming, and Rapid City, South Dakota. So I wanted to go travel up the Rockies and watch all the wind farms that were going up and the Permian Basin and all that stuff and try to see what's going on. So I flew into Denver like a 7 a.m. flight. I drove into Estes Park, and I got to catch the Bears game on a Sunday, eating a hot dog at a Chicago hot dog stand. A family relocated out there, opened up a Chicago hot dog stand. I don't know if the family's still there or not, but But I've got a little history in Estes Park. My brother almost got hit by a car in Estes Park on a family vacation.
Was McNew driving?
He
Yes.
was not driving.
And then she was belligerent too.
Sounds right.
She was belligerent at the
Yeah,
time.
exactly. It stopped on the road and cussed us out. No, my brother almost got hit by a car in Estes Park going for ice cream.
Yeah, no.
Ah.
Tim,
The
let's
busy
talk
town.
about driving though in Chicago. Why is there an upper walker and a lower walker, and then your fucking GPS stops working on lower walker and you don't know where you're going?
It depends on what Batman movie you want to watch.
And,
Lower
and
Whackers
then
wants
you
all
go
that.
the wrong way. I went the wrong way in Chicago, got cussed out a lot, and then broke my tire on a curb.
You should not be able to drive in Chicago.
Did
McNew.
not
That-
have a good
that-
time in Chicago.
No, you should not be allowed to drive in Chicago.
No.
That should be a law.
Times. It's amazing I survived.
Oh.
No,
I tell-
lower whacker is where you do to avoid the traffic inside the loop. That's
Yeah.
for the taxi drivers.
You
and
ever watch the
professional
Blues
drivers
Brothers?
who drive.
Yeah.
Blues
No,
Brothers
So
drive
I
a
was,
lower
I
whacker
was
drive.
trying to go to the loop. I wanted to park off the loop. And
Okay.
it was like, no, fuck you. You can't go to the loop. And I'm like, that's literally where I'm trying to go because that's
Wow.
where it told me to go. And it didn't let me. And I almost died multiple times.
World's worst driver, McNew. So
I am not a great driver.
They don't call the ramps onto the highway out of the city suicide ramps for nothing.
yeah.
There
No,
is
those are fun.
no room to merge. You just got to press the accelerator and hope for the best.
You just gotta hope somebody's nice and lets you in or goes fast enough to let you in. Like,
No,
No.
Illinois is rated as like the worst state for tailgating,
yeah.
and I
No.
fully 100% agree.
I had a job where I had to drive to Chicago for 6 weeks. They made me leave every weekend and come back. They made me leave on Friday and come back on Sundays because they wouldn't pay for a weekend hotel room. And that was fucking terrible. And they ended up spending more money because they had to pay for my expenses and gas and all my bullshit on the way back. They could have just kept me there all weekend. They chose not to.
Oh,
Not a fun time.
Do any cities have good drivers? Or any cities known for
What
good
city's
well-
known for good drivers?
Not Indianapolis for sure.
None.
Indiana's terrible.
No.
Cincinnati's terrible.
Memphis is terrible.
Honestly, I will say when I come to see Steve, St. Louis is actually pretty nice about
We're
letting
good drivers.
me in.
We're good drivers here. We're
They're
known to
not
be
good
good drivers.
drivers.
Now, where you get in trouble is that we're so close to Illinois. You get those Illinois plates coming through, and they're bad drivers.
No,
Yeah.
the
We have to
Southern
deal with that.
Illinois people are nice. Chicago drivers, not nice. Southern Illinois, nice.
Well, they're nice people, but they're just bad drivers. I do like Southern Illinois. I don't want to blast Southern Illinois. I think it's great.
No,
A lot of
I
great
have
communities
no
there.
going to Steve's house, but once I get there, I'm just like, chauffeur me. I'm parked for the weekend. I'm not driving anywhere.
To be honest, anybody south of Peoria, turn signals are optional. You guys don't use a freaking turn signal. You can't just go around the different roads and this, that, and the other. You can't just change lanes without putting a signal on.
Maybe you
I
can.
mean, yes, it's an acquired.
Susie, what do you think about a four-way stop? Is there anything more annoying than someone who just is trying to be polite? Because Susie's a polite person. I could see her doing this. All four of us, say four of us that are on this call, pull up at, but Susie's the first one, but she's polite, so she starts pointing out, you go first. Come on. No,
Oh, I'm first. I'm
that's
going.
the worst people. That's the worst people.
Oh, yeah, no. Just be efficient.
Right,
It
be
does
efficient.
Not a time for manners. It's just be
Right.
efficient. If you
Right.
were there first, go first.
If it's a turn, if this guy pulled up first across here and this guy pulled up and they're going straight, go straight too, because you can both go at the same time. Even
Yes.
if this was the last
Yep.
person to pull up
Yep.
at a four-way stop, but this was the first person to land there, keep it. It should be constant motion and activity.
Yes,
That's what.
I agree.
And sometimes this person will
No.
wait because it's like, well, I was the last one here, and then they just screws everything up.
No, it's right of way. It's
Yeah.
right of way. Whoever's on the right gets to go first. If not, get the fuck out of the way.
No,
Get out
no,
of
All
the-
the stop and go.
Here's the problem. So every intersection before my house has fucking roundabouts that people have figured out. Thank God. I love a roundabout now. They figured them out, or whatever you call it. What do you call them? Roundabouts. So
No, roundabouts. Yep.
Yeah, roundabout.
So people have figured them out. But when you get to my fucking street, they have a four-way stop and people don't know what to do anymore. They lose their minds. I'm like, you go first. No, you go first. I'm like,
Oh, that's the worst.
guys, just
No.
go.
The
And then-
roundabout is a
Because I got
Wisconsin
this, though.
import. The
Really?
roundabout is a Wisconsin import because they're too tired of putting up stoplights for everybody or stop signs. They started putting roundabouts here in Northern Illinois. Oh, I freaking love them.
They're fantastic.
Oh, I love them. It's like a race car. I feel like here's my Chicago driver coming.
Yep.
I'm going around that thing like it's an Indy 500.
No,
race.
I want
I
one.
can only turn left.
The only intersection is not by my house that does not have a roundabout. I'm like, give me a roundabout. This 4-way stop is killing everybody.
The roundabouts is a big upgrade. Big upgrade.
It is. And once people
Rip
get
it
used
and
to
rip
them, they love them. You got to convince them that they're good, though. Like people
you
here
gotta
are
be
very
polite in a roundabout. That's why I love it. I guess that's why I'm a terrible driver for Chicago.
Yeah. Sometimes they do get a little crazy with those. You ever, anybody got the cities where, so traffic is sitting here, and if you're getting off the highway and you have to go past these and up and around it, where you're literally going behind people who are getting ready to turn.
Yeah.
Those are confusing.
I will say I don't like the multiple lane roundabouts, but a 1-lane roundabout I am here for.
You're there. You like that? Okay.
I don't like them. I don't. If it's more than 2 lanes, I'm like, no.
What about the ones in London, England? Do you think you could navigate those that have?
Those are like 5 lanes.
Yeah, 5 lanes, and you're driving on the other side of the road. Do you think you could?
Even
Bend
if it's
Parliament.
that I'm not familiar with, I'm like, bitch, I am flying in, and an Uber can take me everywhere. I would do that. I'm not trying to drive in a foreign city. I'm not trying to drive in an American city. Mm-mm.
I mean, come on. McNew drives down one ways the wrong way. She don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's true. She's angry at someone who tries to tell her and can't believe why he's talking to her.
He was very rude about it. He could have been more polite.
Now, I do have a bone to pick with Justine and Barron. Anybody that lives in Michigan, who the hell thought it was a right idea to turn the stoplights parallel to the road and not perpendicular? Why are the stoplights even
Michigan
on the road?
invent this? Is that where it's coming from?
That's a Michigan problem for sure.
Well, here's a little tidbit. I'm colorblind. So red is red, green is white, yellow is put on the accelerator or hit the brake. Just go and do what you got to do.
Right.
All sideways like that. I don't compute in these U-turn things they got over there. Michigan.
They have weird U-turns, which we just got in Greenfield. They're like, oh, that's a Michigan turn. Well, we're in fucking Indiana. Why would we install these? And there have been so many more wrecks this summer. We just installed these bullshit things. So many more wrecks because nobody understands them. We're not from Michigan. Don't do that to us.
Well, here's where we connect the dots. You send a bag of dicks or a bag of shit to everybody in Michigan for how they put their stoplights.
There you go.
What's going on in Colorado, Lenny? How do you have your stoplights? Perpendicular or parallel?
I mean, we only have 2 stoplights in Buena Vista, so they're both perpendicular. But I did have something interesting happen the other day. Not a city by any means. I was coming out of Breckenridge, and I'm in relative traffic. It's kind of moving. And this guy, I kind of noticed that he's like trying to wave at me next to me. And so I rolled in my window. I'm like, yeah. And he says, it's merging ahead. And I was like, oh, thanks for the heads up. And I start rolling the window. He's like, get in front of me. And I thought, wow. I was like, yeah, thanks.
Hey,
Yeah. I was like, that's how everybody should be. I was like, that's awesome.
So, like, I don't know about anybody else, but like when I'm driving, I just like to have my music on and mind my own business. Like if you're yelling at me or trying to get with me, I'm just like, fuck off. Like leave me alone. I'm in my own world. Like,
what does mean get with you?
Like, I don't know. People yell at me and I'm like, fuck you. Like I'm just listening to this song. You interrupted my song. Now I'm
McNew's like this. So one time we're all in the city of Louisville. And we see McNew, who's supposed to be meeting us at Michter's Distillery. She's going the wrong way. She's on Main Street, which is the right street, but she's going the wrong way. She's crossing. So of course I'm the first one in line. So I hit the horn, and right away she's like, "Hey, fuck you, buddy, fuck you!" Oh, I'm like, "Hey, we're just telling you you're going the wrong way, McNew. Go around the other way. We'll park and see you there."
No. I am very much like that. Like I just stay in my own world, and if you interrupt me, I'm very angry about it. Like.
Well, the funny thing was there was a girl walking next to me. It was like, what the hell is going on? Just a random stranger just on the street. She's like, what is wrong with this woman?
Louisville is kind of tricky in a weird way. Like, I mean, there are some sneaky one-way streets that you don't see coming. I got caught by one. I was driving with Arlo in the back seat, and he was in, I think he was in the car seat. I can't remember. Yeah, he was in the car seat. And when I realized it was a one-way street, I slammed the brakes on properly. And I felt him slam into the back of my seat because I didn't buckle him into his car seat.
Lesson learned. He won't do that again.
Well, he called me the worst dad ever.
The worst dad ever.
His fault. He knows how to buckle a car
Actually,
seat.
no, it wasn't the worst dad ever. It was the dumbest dad ever.
Oh, that may be true.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know how we got on talking about that stuff, but there you go. That's where we took Labor Day this year. So
Okay, well, we hope you have safe Labor Day trips.
a safe Labor Day. Yes, take some of the tips.
Travel safely, follow traffic laws.
Yeah,
Yeah.
follow traffic laws.
Good on your
Don't drive like
driving.
McNew. There you go.
No, I know that I'm a bad driver, but like, you really don't have to stop and tell me about it. I know.
Just send her a bag of.
Send a bag of dicks. There you
Send
go.
a bag of dicks.
All right, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Tim, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me under the corporate and private events section of the abvnetwork.com or on Instagram at swyguy2112.
All right, Lenny.
You can find me and Deerhammer Distillery on the social media at Deerhammer, on the web at deerhammer.com, where you can also order all of our whiskey. And for the month of September, you can get $5 flat rate shipping using the code Bourbon Daily, which should work. Try it.
In theory.
If it
Okay.
doesn't work,
Talk to your marketing department.
Probably
Yeah.
works.
If not, reach out to Lenny. He'll fix it, he says. Susie, how about you? Where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram. It sounds like bourbon.
All right, McNew.
I am on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Anything else to say before we get out of here, McNew?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy Labor Day.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's chat for a moment about Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you just want to experiment on a small scale on the stove in your kitchen or try your hand at a bigger setup in the backyard, Moonshine Still Pro can help. They have different still offerings as well as accessories and even grains from Goldstone Mill to help you make whiskey on par with what you get from your favorite distillery. They can even assist with a DIY still project by supplying some of the parts you can't make yourself. Check them out at moonshinestillpro.com. At the ABV Network, we're lucky enough to have some great friends. Amongst those friends is the Goldstein family, owners of Goldstone Mill. Goldstone Mill is a full-service mill offering a variety of heritage and heirloom grains. Their unique approach of working with mills around the country allows them to offer you affordable shipping opportunities to meet the unique needs of your distillery or brewery. They will consult with you to ensure the grains you are selecting meets the unique flavor profiles you are looking for. If you are a home brewer or distiller and you're looking for the grains that your local distillery or brewery uses, Goldstone Mill is the place to look. Check them out on the web at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or shoot them an email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.